Good morning, everyone. My name is Annalyn Sistona, and I'm going to continue to discuss about the topic in Chapter 3, Making School Inclusive. My topic will be Evolving Inclusive Practice. Okay, first thing, we need to know our learning objectives. Okay, our learning objectives by the end of this lesson, learners should be able to first, this is a discussion. Identify the two effective evidence-based inclusive practice. Okay. The second one will be define UDL and DI. Number 3 will be enumerate the elements of UDL and its principles. And number 4, recognize the role of teachers, families, school, and communities in promoting inclusive. And number 5, reflect on the importance of continuously improving inclusive practice to ensure that every learner has equal opportunities to succeed. Okay. First, introduction. Evolving inclusive practice refers to the continuous process of improving teaching methods, school policies, and learning environments so that they better meet the diverse needs of all learners. Making school inclusive means creating a learning environment where all learners, regardless of ability, disability, gender, culture, language, religion, or socioeconomic background, feel welcome, respected, supported, and able to participate fully in school life. Inclusive school remove barriers to learning and provide equal opportunities for every student to succeed. An inclusive school recognizes that every learner is unique and works to remove barriers so all students can participate meaningfully, reach their potential, and feel that they belong. Okay. Before we tackle this one. We tackled the 3 dimension of index in both and Anson 2022. We have here the producing inclusive policies, creating inclusive cultures, and evolving inclusive practice. So the third one will be my topic. Okay. First, let's find some of the definition that will enlighten us in making evolving inclusive practice. Okay. First, we have belonging. It's creating environments where individuals feel respected, valued, and able to contribute authentically. This one is like belonging in the school. Next one is representation, ensuring diverse voices and perspective are included in decision making, leadership, and communication. Then we have equity, identifying and addressing barriers that prevent fair access to opportunities and resources. This one is like factors that can help us to more elaborate the evolving inclusive practice. We have continuous improvement, regularly reviewing practices, gathering feedback, and adapting to changing needs, research, and legal or social standards. And education and awareness, providing training and resources to help people recognize bias, communicate respectfully, and support inclusive environment. And lastly, we have the accessibility. Designing physical spaces, digital platform, and services so they can be used by people with different abilities. So, all schools need like accessibility. That's why we are tackling the making school inclusive. Okay. Now we'll go to our slide. Okay. Making school evolving inclusive practice. Evolving inclusive practice, the third dimension of Booth and Anscow framework for school, where administrator must first try to create an inclusive culture among its stakeholder, then build better, more encompassing policies. Okay. The goal of the first two steps is to ascertain habit-forming conditions, which make procedures that are otherwise unfamiliar feel like second nature to us. This one is like a ongoing process. It's a evolving inclusive practice means continuously improving teaching method, school policies, and learning environments so they better meet the changing needs of all learners. Dito yung mababase na yung mga techniques na magagamit, yung continue na ginagawa ng school. Yes. For having an inclusive school. Involving inclusive practice, moreover, the term involving assume that we already have strategies in place which we just have to revise it for possible tweaking. It suggests advancement and positive growth, which means we can look at these existing strategies and just adjust this according to the needs of our students along the way. Two effective evidence-based inclusive practice that can be used in the classroom are universal design for learning and differentiate instruction. Okay, this one na is the two effective evidence-based inclusive practice. Okay, the first one is universal design for learning. Universal design for learning. In architecture, universal design refers to structures that were made in such a way that they can be used by customer or clients with a wide range of needs. Duke and Lamartix. Okay. Such design ensure accessibility for all. For example, an architect designed a commercial complex where ramps, elevators, escalator, and handrails, wide doorways, and sidewalks and designs and signs embossed in braille aboard. The architect does not know if or when it's going to happen, but he anticipated and incorporated in his design anyway. So ito pong universal design for learning is plano po siya or like a sketch na gagawin to be happen. Kumbaga kung ikaw architect ka, engineer ka, gagawa ka ng school na dapat accessible to all, may ability or wala. So example, that is yung ramp, elevator, escalator, handrails, ganon. So yung mga engineer, may propose silang mga ganong design sa mga schools or any other facilities na may mga accessibility. Yung design nila is for may disabled or not. So it's for in general, for all diverse. Okay. Next, as universal design for learning, such in the mechanic of universal design for learning approach to instruction refers to the design of instruction materials and activities to make the content information accessible to all children, as cited in the table. Best used in a general education classroom where learners are different. It ensures that all students learn genuinely. Okay, itong universal design for learner, sabi nga kayo na, it was like a architect, engineering design for the school. So example na lang is in our school, in Asbury College, meron silang universal design for learning there is yung may RAMs, may konting RAMs, may handrail din. So, mayroon at merong changes. So, every school kasi parang pag mag-accept ka ng mga student, dapat iisipin mo rin kung ano yung mga magandang access na magagawa na pwede mong maayos, i-repair mo for student para maging easy access sa kanila. So, yung school natin, minsan nagre-repair siya. Dati walang RAMs or walang handrail. So, ngayon nag-repair sila, nagkaroon na ng RAMs dyan sa may tabi ng office. So, yun. Then, universal design for learning, there are 3 elements of UDL. There is 3 elements daw. Number 1 is multiple means of representation. Number 2 is multiple means of action and expression. And number 3, multiple means of engagement. In UDL, teachers are supposed to present information and materials in many different ways, taking into consideration that some students may have not fully absorbed the lesson the first time it was presented. So, dahil nga daw sabi ng UDL, hindi naman agad-agad ma-absorb ang lesson, so meron silang pinropose na other many different way. So, multiple means of representation. Ito yung present information in different ways. What student can learn. So, iisipin nila what student can learn. Then, in the multiple means of action and expression, how students show learning. So, it's like an oral presentation. Then, in multiple means of engagement, ito yung collaboration, motivation, and engagement student in different ways. Why student learn? So, may mga factors kung bakit kaya ginawa tong 3 elements is para ma-determine natin kung ano yung mga what, how, and why for the learners. Okay. And then, after natin malaman yung elements for the UDL, now we will going to tackle the UDL principle and inclusive practice. Number 1 principle dito is equitable use. Inclusive practice are designed to be used, appealing, and safe for all in students, families, and professionals to use. Individual differences and various contexts are respected. So this one, principle ng UDL is yung equitable use. Ito yung learning environment, product, or activity is useful and accessible to all learners. Digital copies. Yung safe sa mga student, useful and appealing. Sabi nga na safe for student. Ito ay principle siya para sa school. Principle siya para sa school. Yung mga bagay na nakikita natin na equitable use sa school. The number 2 principle is flexible use. Inclusive practice are designed to accommodate the individual preferences, abilities, and needs of all students, families, and professionals. Flexibility in providing choices for methods and phasing are exercise. Ito naman yung flexible use. Ibig sabihin ng flexible, yun na nga, flexible from the word itself. Different ways. Mga ginagawa ng mga teachers sa school like written essay, oral presentation, speaking, writing. Yun yung mga na-accommodate ng mga individual preference. Flexible use in the school. Mostly ginagamit talaga natin sa school to. The number 3 principle is the simple and intuitive use. Inclusive principles are designed to be easy for all to use and understand. Ito yung mga simple intuitive use. Ito yung mga easy to understand and use. Mga clear step-by-step instruction. Like for example sa school natin, may mga simple and mga instruction na nilalagay sa mga blackboard like Claygo, clean as you go. Yung mga may mga example ng instruction, may mga step by step sa mga bulletin board, may mga nakalagay, ano yung mga proper uniform. Ganon. Yun yung sa principle number 3. Then, principle number 4, perceptible information. Inclusive principle are designed so that they communicate valuable information to all various format. Ito yung mga important information is presented in ways that all learners can perceive and understand. Like yung ginagamit natin sa mga paper natin, like font size, mga language na we use English, we use Tagalog, and then yung mga paperworks natin, di ba? Mostly mga paperworks natin, printed, minsan handouts lang, like yellow pad. The next is principle number 5, tolerance for error. Inclusive practice are designed to minimize errors and unintended consequences by providing safeguard and warning to assist all in using them safely. Ito yung designing learning environment, materials, and activities to minimize mistake and reduce the negative consequences when mistake happen. Ito yung resubmitting of assignment, giving constructive feedback to help the student improvement. Ito yung mga exam consideration. Kunwari, si teacher ngayon, wala tayong pasok. So, may mga consideration na minsan you make an essay, may assignment, minsan may mga deadline. Pag may reason, valid yung reason, pwede namang ihabol. And then, ito yung pagka may example ito, best example nito yung kunwari sa exam, pag nagbibigay ng consideration si teacher, kunwari, pag may mali siyang na-print doon sa exam, tapos mali rin yung nasagot natin. So, parang may consideration doon kasi it started with the error. So, consideration is happen, collaboration, tolerance to error. Kasi kung very strict, kawawa naman tayo kung very strict yung school or very strict yung instructor natin. Principle number 6, low physical effort. Inclusive practices are designed to be used comfortably and effectively without much effort from all. Ito yung minimal physical effort, yung lightweight, easy to handle learning materials, limited mobility. Ito yung just like sa school lang tayo nagre-report, may provided na yung TV, magdadala ka na lang ng laptop mo, PowerPoint. Then, minsan, hindi ka na pinahihirapan na magdala pa ng sarili mong TV or sarili mong gamit just to provide your PowerPoint presentation. Minsan galing na sa school. So, ito yung parang low physical effort. Then, number 7, principle is size and space for approach and use. This one is inclusive practice are designed for use by all, regardless of their mobility, physicality, or way of communication. Ito yung mga learning materials should be designed so that everyone can comfortably reuse it. Reach and use, like spaces furniture, arrange classroom with wide desks, and like example nito is yung sa classroom, meron tayong mga chairs, may mga table. Yung mga chairs natin is enough in one room. Hindi siya siksikan and walang masyadong furniture para maging masikip yung classroom. Next is Principle 8, Community of Learners. Inclusive practice are designed to promote social interaction and communication for all. Ito na yung sa teachers and student work together. Learn from one another, support each other, growth, collaboration, work together in a group. Ito na yung community learner, inclusive practice, design, promote social interaction. Ito na yung interaction and communication ni teacher sa mga students. So, pag nagdi-discussion tayo, di ba, nagpapalitan tayo ng ideas, si sir nagbibigay ng question, then we exchange ideas with regards to the topic. So, nagkakaroon na tayo ng communication for all. Next, Principle 9, Inclusive Environment. Inclusive principles are designed to foster acceptance and sense of belongingness for all. So, this one is where all learners feel welcome, respected, safe, and supported regardless of their ability, culture, language, gender, socioeconomic background, and their differences. Ito na yung inclusive environment. Ito na yung environment, yung paligid ng ating school. Nakakasalamuhan natin. It should be all welcoming, acceptance all, kasi kung in-accept tayo ng school, so mostly we belong to the school. So ganun. Then next is number 2 na tayo na what you call this? 2 effective evidence-based inclusive practice. Yung number 2 na is, the first one, again kanina, is yung UDL, which Universal Design for Learning. And number 2 is differentiate instruction. Ito na yung number 2 na effective evidence-based inclusive practices. According to Tomlinson, differentiating instruction is a teacher's response to a student, varying needs, interests, and learning style. It refers to systematic approach to planning, curriculum, and instruction for academically diverse learner. It is a way of thinking about the classroom with the dual goals of honoring each student learning needs and maximizing students' learning capacity. Okay. Dito na yung si teacher na ito. Dito na yung teaching approach in which the teacher adapts lesson activities and assessment to meet the diverse learning needs, abilities, interests, and learning style of student. Ito na yung trabaho ni teacher. Ito na yung trabaho natin as a future teacher. Yung tayo na yung gagawa ng way para magkaroon ng inclusive sa classroom and in the school, the interest of the learning style, ganyan yung kunwari content, process, product learning, curriculum, tayong magpa-planning nun. Dito tayo kukuha ng sample is from differentiate instruction. Then ano ba tayo? According to Tomlinson, differentiate or differentiating instruction is a teacher response. Example nito is yung some students need a textbook, other watch video or reporting giving module. Ito yung example nito is yung pag binibigay tayo ni teacher ni sir ng mga reporting. Dito niya na yun na di-discuss. Okay. Next, why differentiate learning? All learners are unique and have varying interests, talent, strength, as well as need. Hence, it's essential that teaching and learning experiences reflect this diversity. Differentiate instruction helps ensure that learners are engaged in respectful tasks and provide diverse means of learning that reflect their strength and address their needs simultaneously. It is important because students have different abilities, background, interests, and learning needs. Ito na yung bakit mayroon tayong differentiate learning. Bakit? Kasi para sa inclusive school, inclusive practice, kailangan natin ng differentiate learning para magkaroon ng unique interest, hindi lang para sa isang diverse, this for all, para sa lahat. Kung the other one is may interest sa ibang klaseng talent, may strength and weaknesses, this makikita yan dito sa differentiate instruction. Makakatulong ito sa mga learners para magawa yung task nila in their own diverse aspect. Like that. How is instruction differentiate? Binder in 2022 cite by identified elements of the curriculum that can be differentiate. We have the content, process, products, and learning environment. In response to the student characteristic, interest, readiness, and learning profile. As an overview, differentiation is achieved by providing materials and tasks. A. At varied level of difficulty. B. With varying levels of instructional support. C. By using multiple grouping arrangement. D, that involves student choice, and E, use varied evaluation strategies. Okay. Sabi dito, paano or how instruction differentiate? Sabi naman ni Binder, according to Binder, identify elements of the curriculum that can be differentiated using yung content, process, product, and learning environment. Okay. By adjusting teaching to match student readiness level, interest, and learning profiles. Individual needs. Ito na yung pag gagawa ng instruction, different sa ang school kasi they had the content, the process kung paano nila ibibigay, then the product, and then the learning environment is kasama na rin kasi nakaka-affect talaga yung learning environment sa pag-aaral ng mga bata. So, in response to this, yung student kasi makukuha with the content, makukuha yung interest ng student. Then, with the process, makikita mo yung readiness ng student. With the product and the learning environment, you'll get the learning profile ng isang estudyante. Then, as teacher, you must know your curriculum. You are suggested to revisit or identify which are non-negotiable and negotiable learning objectives and tasks. You are also expected to know your student interest, readiness level based on diagnostic data, and learning style, profile, strength, and needs. You may create a class profile to provide an overview of the class characteristic and needs. Next, you have to identify and plan what and how to differentiate your materials. The goal is to start small and take simple steps towards differentiating instruction. Ito na yung as a teacher, kailangan natin malaman yung curriculum kasi paano tayo magtuturo kung hindi natin alam yung curriculum. And at the same time, kailangan natin malaman yung task ng teacher is to know the student. Kung saan sila interesado, saan sila ready, according, di ba pag yung ibang school or the other school mostly, nagkakaroon sila ng diagnostic test or test para malaman kung saan strength or weakness ng isang estudyante. So, may mga learning style para malaman mo yon. Then, you will create your class profile by knowing your student. Kaya meron tayong differentiate instruction para malaman natin yung mga gantong kakayanan, interest, readiness ng ating mga learners. Okay. Differentiation strategies. Ito na yung content, process, product, and learning environment. Makikita mo dito sa content, we have what is taught, ano yung tinuro. Then, what is learned, ano yung natutunan. Sa process naman is, how it is taught, paano siya itinuro, and how it is learned, paano siya natuto. In the product, how it is assessed, and how long it learned demonstrated. And in learning environment, how is the classroom arranged. Ito yung magko-collaborate na, ma-explain na dito ng maayos. Kasi sa content, may tanong dito, ano yung itinuro? Di ba sabi ko nga kanina, we must know our curriculum para alam natin yung ituturo natin. So, kung ano yung tinuro mo, yun din yung malalaman nila. Kung ano yung tinuro mo, yun yung magiging additional knowledge nila. And then the process will be, paano siya tinuro? Paano? Kunwari, i-discuss ba? Ni-report ba? Sinabit lang ba sa papel? Nagkaroon ba ng discussion sa classroom? Like, then, makikita dito, provide additional material skills, reduce material skills, exploration by interest. Dito na yung sa paano nagturo. Kita mo na. And then sa process naman, choices of reading materials, varied presentation styles, say it, show it, and mood it. Use media, video. Ito na yung nag-PowerPoint presentation. Varied spacing, reading bodies, read, summarize, read, question and answer, visual organizing, summarization, think, fair share, and readiness, interest, and reading profile. And then dito naman sa product, homework option. Paano mo malalaman kung may natutunan yung estudyante? Dito mo siya magamit sa yung resulta na nung ginawa mong ano yung tinuro mo, paano mo siya tinuro. Tapos ito na yung product ng pagkakaturo mo. Like homework options, student choices on product or representation, written report, by journal prompts, choice board, think tac to, tied activities by readiness and interest, more items, advanced learner, less item with special needs. Okay. Then, learning environment naman as how is the classroom arranged, flexible groupings, whole class, small group, one-on-one, peer teaching, pairs, partner learning, individual learning, and cooperating learning, flexible seating. Ito na-breakdown na dito yung mga nagagawa natin sa classroom. Like we have a groupings for reporting, ganyan. Then flexible seating, okay naman yung seating natin. Quiet areas. Learning center, station, group, learning. Yun na nga. So, dito sa differentiate strategies ito, differentiation strategies ng mga teacher kung paano natin magagamit yung differentiate instruction. So, yung sa content, paano mo siya itinuro, yung sa process, yung sa content, ano yung itinuro mo. Then, the process is, paano mo siya itinuro. Then, the product is yung assessment ng naging product nung ano yung tinuro mo, paano mo siya tinuro, and how long is learn, demonstrate, product. Then, learning environment. Yung kasama na siya dyan. Ito na yung last question is, how is the classroom managed during differentiate learning? Structure the classroom by establishing routines during differentiate learning activities. Explain to the student the reason for differentiation. Make sure this is understood by all. Dito kasi, involve organizing the classroom so that the student can work on different tasks while remaining engaged, respectfully, and focused. Ito yung magsiset ka ng clear rules and expectation. Explain to the student yung reason natin. Dapat, pag in-explain at maintindihan nila ito, na bakit meron tayong differentiated instruction. So, i-explain mo na, meron parang learning objectives ito. Then, number 2 is, use anchor activities. Example of anchor activities are reading a chosen book for book report, journal rating based on the prompt, skill, proctor, spelling, math, use for manipulative objects. Ito yung magbibigay ka ng mga other choices kung magbo-book report or pag magpa-PowerPoint presentation. Mostly, di ba, we are allowing use the internet. So, we have like a ChatGPT. Then number 3, assign rules during small group activities instruction to ensure accountability and a positive learning environment. Learners should have the opportunity to assume each of the rules. Dito is, we have the facilitator, recorder, summarizer, timekeeper, presenter, errand monitor. Establish routine and procedure. Use flexible grouping. Give clear instruction. Example nito is, kunwari si teacher nagpa-grouping sa atin for reporting. Dapat magbibigay siya ng clear example na, okay, sa grouping nyo, yung mauuna, dapat may props, dapat may ganito, dapat may clear instruction si sir kung paano niya papagawa yung activities sa atin. Then number 4 is implementing routines for collaboration work. Establishing working groups by interest, by readiness. Have a plan for quick finishers. Have a plan for when to ask for help. Role of the errand monitor. Ito na yung implementing routines for collaboration work. This one kasi yung tinutukoy dito is yung mga how is the classroom managed during differentiated learning. Paano mamamanage yung classroom? Ito yung mga way or factors na magagamit natin kung paano natin mamamanage yung classroom. So, implementing routine, collaboration. Collaboration, like yung magkakaroon tayo ng discussion, magkakaroon ng groupings, reporting. Okay. At doon na po nagtatapos ang aking report. Kaya kung mapapansin natin, hindi lang dahil gusto ni Sir yung reporting natin, grouping natin, para hindi na siya ang mag-work, kundi part ng curriculum natin yung pagre-reporting natin. Part din ng inclusive practice lahat ng mga ginagawa natin, like reporting, lahat ng pinapagawa ni Sir is may curriculum na sinusunod. So, hindi lang dahil yun yung gusto ni Sir. Hindi. Meron siyang sinusunod na guidelines na pinapagawa sa atin. Yun yung example ng instruction differentiate instruction. Okay, thank you very much po. Have a nice day. Ingat po ang lahat.